Hey, hello everyone. My name is Mike Donnelly. I am the Senior Regional Vice President with Pacific Life in the Retirement Solutions Division. I just want to take a minute and thank each and every one of you for joining us today, taking time away from your practice, your family, and join us for our webinar about getting started with LinkedIn. But before I introduce our speakers today, let me just touch on a couple of housekeeping items. First of all, please keep in mind that today's webinar is for educational purposes only. Pacific Life is not affiliated with LinkedIn. Remember that you must always follow your firm's policies, procedures, and guidelines. For more information about social selling and LinkedIn, please visit our website, socialselling.pacificlife.com. That's socialselling.pacificlife.com. If you have questions, please use the question panel to submit your questions today. And we're going to leave some time here at the end of the webinar to answer any questions you might have. Secondarily here, this will be moderated by our social media supervisor, Seth Santa. So again, we will have a moderator here, our social media supervisor at Pacific Life, Seth Santa. With that, let me take a minute just to introduce our guest speaker today, Brett Maris. I've been at Pacific Life over a decade now, and I have the privilege to work with Brett. He's one of our senior internal wholesaler consultants with Pacific Life. Previously coming to Pacific Life, he served as an advisor where he helps his clients meet their retirement needs. As an internal wholesaler, he has the privilege of being a resource to all the financial advisors we work with at Pacific Life, helping them to save time and find suitable solutions to their clients' needs. Brett is a resident of Omaha, Nebraska. He lives with his incredible wife and his dog, Bauer. In college, Brett had the opportunity to be a Division I baseball player and was fortunate enough to play for the Sioux City Explorers of the American Association for a few years after college. Brett enjoys spending time with his family, traveling, reading, and being outdoors and being active. So, without any further ado, let me turn it over to Brett Maris.
Well, thank you for that wonderful introduction, Mike. I really do appreciate it. As Mike mentioned, my name is Brett Maris, and I'm here to talk today about social selling and how incorporating it into your business can help you connect with new prospects and strengthen those relationships that you have with your current clients. You know, specifically today, we're going to talk about how to get started using LinkedIn. So taking a look at the graphs on the slide, you can tell that internet usage, as we all know, has grown substantially over the past 2 decades, and it continues to grow today. Now, there are more than 2.9 billion people online, and the United States is second in the world in terms of internet usage, only to China. 87% of Americans, that's almost 280 million of us, use the internet. And of all the adults who use the internet, 74% spend time on social media. And it's not just the young and millennials who are active on social networking sites. Retirees and elderly people are as well. You know, a study by Pew Research Center found that 49% of people over the age of 65 are actively using social networking sites. It also showed that 73% of college graduates and 78% of people who make more than $75,000 per year are engaged in social media. Social media is not important just because there are a large number of adults using it. It's also because social media, in many ways, is changing the way that clients find out about, research, and communicate with professionals. According to Forrester Research, 80% of your potential new clients discover new brands, products, and services, you know, not from sales professionals like they used to, but from family and friends. Social media enables clients to widen their network of friends and communicate with them regularly about all sorts of topics. An example, Cogent Research found that 5 million affluent investors use social media for research before they even select a financial services provider or before they make any sort of financial decisions. Today, we're going to talk more about how you can be that financial professional that they turn to. Of those 5 million affluent investors, you know, that's 3.7 million, that's 73%, use LinkedIn as their primary social networking platform. Not surprising then, for financial professionals, LinkedIn works. In a survey of financial professionals who use LinkedIn, more than 3 of 5 said that they gained new clients by using this powerful social networking site. Almost a third of those new clients generated $1 million or more in assets under management. So what makes using LinkedIn so effective? First, LinkedIn is designed for the same types of individuals that you want to research as those potential clients. It's focused primarily on the needs of business professionals. Second, LinkedIn can help turn those cold calling into warm intros. Think of it. While some say that the process of cold calling is dead, it's not necessarily the calling part that's dead. It's the cold. How often do prospects answer your calls when they don't know or recognize the number? For me, I'm on the phone all day. It's not too often that I get somebody who answers the phone. I'm leaving a voicemail. But how might identifying common ground or mutual acquaintances before you pick up that handset increase that call's effectiveness? People tend to deal with someone they already know, trust, and have a connection with. And they're likely to find those professionals by talking with and getting recommendations from family and friends. This reminds me of that Bob Berg quote. All things being equal, people will do business with and refer business to those they know, like, and trust. Taking it one step further, all things being unequal, people will do business with and refer business to those they know, like, and trust. So LinkedIn can be the first step down that path. And LinkedIn makes you a part of the conversation. It's efficient. Research found that sales professionals building their own leads and pipelines through social selling create 45% more opportunities and up to 80% more productive than those who use more traditional, marketing techniques. And for financial professionals in particular, using LinkedIn can help you stand out as a thought leader, grow your network, position yourself to get referrals, increase your visibility, enhance your traditional marketing efforts, and build brand identity. That's the hardest part, is building brand identity. But to effectively build your brand, you need to be seen as an expert, and LinkedIn can help you do that. In 30 minutes, as the slide shows, you could promote your planned events, webinars, speaking engagements, build relationships with local professionals, attorneys, CPAs, the COIs that can help you, prospect to more people. Reach out to your clients' future heirs and build relationships to hopefully keep them as clients. Investment News found that 66% of heirs leave their parents' advisor. By bridging that gap, by having LinkedIn help you, you can hopefully have less attrition and keep that AUM on your books. It can also help you grow that rollover business by identifying contacts who are changing jobs and might have some 401k dollars that you can do some planning with. And you can show interest in your clients' lives by reaching out during those key life events and in times of change. And you can do all of that without even leaving your office. By now you're probably wondering, how do I get started? And how do I ensure that the time that I spend on LinkedIn is productive? Well, the answer is to remember and practice these 4 key aspects of social selling. Create your presence, build your network, know your clients, and establish your expertise. All right, let's take a first look one, create your presence. On social media, one of the main goals is to be found. So when potential clients type words like financial professional, Chicago, Illinois, or wealth planning into an internet search engine, will they discover you? And if you pop up, what will they see? LinkedIn is generally one of the first 3 to 5 Google search results. So if your prospects are Googling you, one of the first things they're going to see is that LinkedIn profile. And if those new or existing clients look at you on LinkedIn, what are they going to see about you? Are they even going to find you on there? Joining LinkedIn can be that first step towards using social media for your business. And after you join, you can spend a few minutes setting up that profile so you can create that narrative and control it to make sure that they see what you want them to see. And as you're creating it, keep in mind some best practices that will help you not only be found, but to stand out among those who are found. So to join, visit www.linkedin.com. Registration is free, and all you have to do is just simply fill in your name and email address, create a password, and click Join Now. LinkedIn is going to send you an email with a confirmation for you to click on. Once that's done, you can log into LinkedIn and begin to create your profile. LinkedIn will guide you through the basic process, and you have the option to skip some steps now to come back later. To create an effective profile, keep in mind strategies that we're going to cover in the following slides. A big thing as well is compliance. So each compliance has their own rules and regulations that regard social media. So make sure that you get involved with compliance as well before you create the profile. So this is what a typical LinkedIn profile might look like. It's going to be what LinkedIn users see when they find you. And it's designed to make finding you easier. The quickest way to edit and enhance your profile is to click the Complete Your Profile button in the top section of your profile. This is going to guide you through adding the content, and as you do, just make sure you follow your firm's compliance policies. You're going to hear that a few times throughout this webinar, but it's really important. Moving on, a photo is essential. So clients and prospects want to get to know you and feel that you're approachable. Research shows it's also less effective if a profile is not included. Profiles that have a photo, they get 14 times more views than those that don't. So upload a photo of yourself. And when you do it, make sure that it's representative of your professional best. So, we suggest dressing in business attire, looking at the camera, and having a professional but pleasant facial expression. In addition to a good photo, make sure you fill out your profile as completely as possible. When creating your message, remember you have 3 basic goals. Build your brand, establish your expertise, and provide information that you can relate to clients on that personal basis. That means your title and company, but it also means other information. Clients want to know you as both a professional and a person. Often, they want to deal with someone local. And they want to know that you have areas of specialty that can match their needs. They may want someone with a particular educational background or even someone that went to the same school as they did. They may feel that they'll relate to someone with similar hobbies and interests. Therefore, include your geographic location, education, areas of focus for your practice. These are all searchable pieces of information, and they're the pieces that are going to help you stand out amongst your peers. They're also going to help that client find the right advisor for themselves. Now, you can provide a lot of this information in the background and summary area, which you can see we highlighted here. And you can use this area to reflect your voice, personality, and what you feel is most important about you. It's your chance to make your practice stand out, not to everyone, but to the kind of clients that you want to attract. Let clients know your professional history, your areas of special interest, and how you approach client needs, and any other factors that set you apart. One note, when completing this, talking in the first person will give your summary a more personal, warm feel that's going to connect with those clients and prospects. And depending on what your target market is, I would definitely try to use that first person whenever possible. So for instance, in Eric here, it says, I am here to help you meet your personal and business financial goal, as opposed to Eric Carson, Wealth Advisor at Sullivan Financial Group, is here to help you meet that. It sounds scripted, whereas that personal feel is really what people are going to connect with. In addition to those, include information that sets you apart. So this might include community service activities, participation in nonprofit boards, awards, major hobbies and interests, or common interests that often help create that bond that you're looking for with those clients and prospects. These are powerful, powerful factors in drawing those clients to you. You'll also have the opportunity to list, what you feel is most important honors and skills. So think about these carefully. It's your personal checklist of services that you want to be known for. And it provides those who view your profile with a shortcut for evaluating the attributes that you bring to the table, so they can really get a feel of who you are before they sit down. To broaden your visibility further, Join those LinkedIn groups that reflect both your professional and personal interests. Groups are LinkedIn communities of people with those similar interests, and the groups you join will be automatically listed on your profile. This enables clients to see you more clearly as an individual. In addition, seek out the LinkedIn profiles of people that you consider to be influencers. People who have helped you shape your professional and personal views. Follow them on LinkedIn. This strategy provides clients with a better idea of your philosophies and how you might approach their needs. Finally, again, always check with your compliance department before finalizing and posting your profile. It's really important to ask them for any and all guidance that may be regarding your online activities as a financial professional. As with any form of communication, knowing your firm's compliance rules about social media helps protect you and your practice. So as you can see, your LinkedIn profile is really like an online resume. It should contain essential information that defines your professional skills, services you offer, as well as including factors that allow clients to relate with you on that personal and philosophical basis. So moving on, we're going to help you build the network. Your LinkedIn network establishes a path for a two-way communication between you and both your prospects and clients. It also positions you for introductions to new clients. In effect, it's a continually updated database from which you can uncover business opportunities. This is what a typical network of LinkedIn connections looks like. Your connections are shown as either first, second, or third degree connections. And the difference between them is simple. Your first degree connections are people that you're actually linked in with. So those are people that you've either given or received an invitation to. Your second is like a friend of a friend. So they're connected to one of your first degree connections, but not to you yet. And third degree are people connected to your second degree, but not to you or your first degree connections. So let me stop there for a minute and answer a question that's often on the minds of advisors. And that question is, who can see my network? And the default setting in LinkedIn is that everyone can see your network. And if this concerns you, here's a tip that many LinkedIn users don't know about. LinkedIn does offer the option to turn off this feature so that only you'll be able to see your network. Simply place your mouse over your own picture in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, and the drop-down list will appear. Select Privacy and Settings, and you'll see an option that says Select Who Can See Your Connections. And you can set this option to only you. Adding connections is critical to a successful social selling strategy. If you're connected to your clients and prospects, you can't communicate and engage with them through social media. To quickly build your network, we recommend focusing on your existing contacts, both clients and prospects. Use that search feature on LinkedIn. It's located at the top of the page. And after the search has brought you to that person's profile, click Connect. And this will pop up an invitation. Before you send the invitation, here's an important tip. LinkedIn gives you that opportunity to personalize that invitation with your own words. And when sending requests from your desktop or using that mobile app that LinkedIn has. Personalization is LinkedIn's standard text, helps you make a better impression. And it may improve your rate of invitation acceptances as well. After the person you sent the invitation to has accepted your invitation, you'll be able to see the contact's entire profile. This helps you gain a better understanding of who they are. If he or she is a current prospect, you might discover new opportunities to serve them. In addition, you might identify shared acquaintances, colleagues, hobbies, things that you can connect with them on that personal level. A quick idea on utilizing that connection message, if you have a prospect, ask him to grab a cup of coffee before connecting. See if it makes sense for you guys to connect in a sense. It's a super simple and effective way of just seeing if it'll be a mutually beneficial relationship for you to actually link in, and it's a quick way to get a 15-minute face-to-face to really engage with them and see if they're your ideal client. If you do have those shared acquaintances or colleagues with your connections, you can ask your contact if they would be willing to introduce you. This is many times a much more effective approach than the typical asking, do you have anyone who could benefit from my services? With an open-ended question like that, clients and prospects might struggle for an answer, but if you anchor it, you might be able to get a better referral. LinkedIn members you're not connected to might be more willing to connect with you if someone they know introduces you. The Get Introduced feature on LinkedIn expedites this process by giving you the ability to reach out to individuals in your network and request those introductions. When using this feature, consider these best practices. Number one, state your intent and be clear about why you're asking for an introduction. Number two, provide the options. Give the person who will be making the introduction a gracious way to decline if they don't feel comfortable recommending you. And be professional. Your referral connection request might be seen by the person with whom you want to be connected. And another option is just to send an InMail. InMails are messages that you can send directly to another LinkedIn member you're not connected to. Now, any member can purchase InMail, or you can get them by upgrading to a premium account for an additional cost. Another way you can add to your network is by joining the groups on LinkedIn. LinkedIn makes it easy to search for groups, and some groups you may want to consider joining are going to be professional groups that reflect your interests and expertise, groups whose members may fit your practice's typical client profile, the alumni page of your college or university. That one can be really important. So it can give you access to powerful tools that can help you connect with alumni according to their geographic locations and backgrounds. And it might be a simple bridge to cross to help you to get in front of those prospects. The more ways that you connect and the greater number of your connections, the more opportunities you'll have to use LinkedIn as a source for prospecting and those ongoing business opportunities. Now you're ready for step 3, which is know your clients. This involves social listening. Your connections may talk to each other through LinkedIn, and now you have the opportunity to get to know them by actually participating in those conversations. For you, the context of those conversations might translate into new opportunities, and you might gain the interest of prospects and strengthen the loyalty of existing clients. Tuning into conversations on LinkedIn is easy. Visit LinkedIn, sign in, and you can just view your activity feed, which is the main screen. This is where you'll see the posts written by and about your connections, as well as comments on those posts from other connections. If you learn about something that you might be interested in helping with or following up on, for example, a financial issue a client's having, an economic or financial question that's being asked, or an anniversary, a significant life event, you can send a message to that connection. Let them know that you're interested in their life and you have the expertise to help address those financial needs. Watching for these types of social signals can also help you identify opportunities to capture that money in motion. For example, if you notice one of your connections recently changed jobs, you have an opening for a rollover or retirement planning discussion. However, be careful not to pitch your services. In social media, the key is not to push your services, but to pull clients and prospects towards you by establishing yourself as that source of trusted, reliable information. You want to be the expert. You want to build your brand. Here's an example. Donna, congratulations on 12 years in the business. That is quite an accomplishment, and I know you like to plan ahead. I saw an article about succession planning online. Here's a link. Something like that. It's quick, simple, helpful, informative, impactful is the biggest thing. Now, of course, knowing your clients might be about listening, but social media is that two-way communication platform. So it's important to address step 4, that's establish your expertise. To maximize the use of social selling, it involves regular proactive outreach to your connections. This will help you build your brand and establish you as a valuable go-to resource in your field. On LinkedIn, outreach starts by participating in your activity feed. Whenever you log on, the first thing you'll see is your own photo and an invitation to share an update. Anything you type in this space, it'll be published on your activity feed and shared on the activity feeds of all of your connections. This helps keep your name in front of clients and prospects. It also provides an opportunity to build that brand in front of a large audience with relatively small effort. Specifically, if your opportunity to become known as a thoughtful, credible, and likable, helpful professional who's always there and ready to lend assistance. However, in social media, make sure that what you post provides information and is not a sales pitch. Consider posting interesting and useful links and articles for your connections to read, especially those from thought leaders on financial planning, tax planning, retirement planning, other subjects related to your services. Status updates on your business that would interest clients and prospects, such as new partners, services, joint community service efforts undertaken by members of your staff. Congratulations to your staff members on promotions or for special accomplishments, newly won awards, stuff like that. Occasional light articles that are fun to read and relate to either your business or personal interests. In other words, your activity feed offers an opportunity to be a part of the conversation and to become someone who is known for great information you provide. The better information you provide and the more likes you get, the wider your net is going to be cast for potential prospects of people that you might not even think about right now. On LinkedIn, there are also other conversations you can be a part of. Specifically, those are the groups you join. Just as with your own activity feed, the goal here is to be present and provide helpful, valuable information. The only difference here is to stick to postings that are relevant to the group's mission. Individuals join groups to focus on a specific common interest. Staying on topic will make you a welcome member of the group. Finally, while you want to be visible by posting on a regular basis, you also don't want to be perceived as pushy or trying to grab the spotlight. General guidelines suggest that you need to post 3 to 5 times per week, just before or after normal working hours. This is going to help you reach the majority of your audience while not oversaturating your connections activity feeds. Follow that 80-20 rule. 80% of your content should be helpful and useful to your audience. It should be that value add, while 20% should promote your brand and business offerings. You don't have to be online all the time to keep your posting consistent. You can explore using a content marketing platform to schedule content for the week or month ahead and track the effectiveness of the content you're posting. This can be a useful way to keep your activity feed active and save you time by not having to post content every day. There's many more tips and best practices that we could talk about, but these are the basics that you need to get started and to make the most out of those business opportunities that LinkedIn may provide. When you do register for LinkedIn, we'll be right there with you. Pacific Life has seen the power of social media, and our representatives are part of the LinkedIn community. After all, we want what you want, to be seen and heard, to be a part of that conversation. Social media is where that all happens. A recent Nielsen survey found that on average, Americans engage with on-screen media for more than 60 hours per week. And almost half the smartphone owners visit social networks every day. So when you become a LinkedIn member, we'll hope you'll connect with us too. To get started, remember and practice the 4 key aspects of social selling. Create your presence, build your network, know your clients, and establish your expertise. Make sure you join the conversation and interact socially on a regular basis. This will keep you visible and top of mind to clients and prospects. So make a plan to integrate social selling into your regular routine each week, or better yet, each day. Finally, remember the cardinal rule of social conversation. Provide valuable information, not a sales pitch. Using social selling means being a financial professional to whom clients are drawn to by knowledge, helpfulness, personality, and willingness to share ideas and views that are going to help people achieve important life goals. If you'd like to learn more about how social selling can position you for referrals, enhance client relationships, and build your online brand, visit our website at socialselling.pacificlife.com or just call 1-800-722-2333. Thanks for listening today, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
And just a reminder, if you do have any questions, use the question panel and we'll get to them. Brett, looks like we did have a couple of questions come in. First one is, what types of articles should I share on LinkedIn?
Those articles can be really anything that you want them to be. So the first question you need to ask yourself when finding that content to share on LinkedIn is, will my connections find this article valuable? The best way to build that credibility and expertise is to share content that your audience is going to find relevant and useful. This can be anything from like thought leadership pieces, financial topics, or even motivational messages. I even like to share an inspirational quote every now and then as a positive message for my connections. Remember, LinkedIn is a professional network, so ensure the content you're sharing is appropriate for that audience.
Perfect. Another question that came in, how much time do you need to spend on LinkedIn?
One of the benefits of using LinkedIn is that it helps you be more efficient with your time. You can accomplish a lot in a relatively short amount of time. I like to spend a few minutes at the start of my day, scroll through my newsfeed, follow up on any messages, add or accept new connections, and then I'll also check LinkedIn throughout the day during my downtime and breaks. At the end of the week, I'll look for articles to share for the following week. Altogether, I might spend 30 minutes a week on LinkedIn, which when compared to other activities such as like emails, calls, it's not a huge time commitment, but it allows me to appear active and present to my network and be seen as that thought leader.
Perfect. It looks like we got another question. What social media marketing platforms do you suggest to organize weekly publications? And this one I can kind of speak to. There's definitely a lot of different platforms out there, but I would recommend checking with your broker-dealer, your firm, to see what they have available. But there's some free ones out there like Buffer app that can help you schedule articles in advance. Okay, we have another question on where can I find really good articles that people haven't seen before?
That's going to be, you can go to like investment news if you want to do something for your business. Depending on your hobbies, you can just follow certain blogs. It just depends on really what you feel is going to be the best for what you're trying to convey, or if you want to do more of that 80% value add or more of that 20% services add. It just depends on which websites you can get to. Investment News, I find, has a lot of good information. Wealth Management as well has some great articles that add value to somebody's practice.
Perfect. Another question, what do you suggest when people want to connect with me who seem to have no help to my network? Some come from other companies.
You can play that either way you want to. If you don't think it's going to benefit you, then you don't have to accept the connection. And if you want to see their connections, you might have to accept it. But a lot of times throughout the days, I might not accept certain people just because I don't see that being a mutually beneficial relationship. Either I'm going to take more than I give, or I'm going to give more than I take. And if it's not going to be mutually beneficial, there's nothing there that says that you have to accept that connection. You can just decline, and they can't see it.
Perfect. Another question, what ways are there to do something like an email blast, or is that rude and impersonal?
I haven't really found a way to do a LinkedIn email blast. I know that people are working on it, but I use LinkedIn more for like a one-on-one connection to try to get my name out there. If you're going to do an email blast, I would leave that to email, as if you're seen as being on spam with LinkedIn. And I don't know, Seth, you might be able to talk to this more, but if you spam people too much, I think they can like kick you out of LinkedIn actually.
Yeah, you do have to be careful about sending too many invites and things like that. Definitely, they are not in favor of any kind of spamming. So it is better to be personal when you can. Here's another question is, can you please review how you can control who can see your profile setting?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to try to find the best way to get back to that slide. Network. All right, so if you go to your picture, there'll be a drop-down box that will come down. You go to Privacy and Settings, and after you go to Privacy and Settings on the Profile tab, we've highlighted here, it says Select who can see your connections. Click on that, and then it'll give you options, and just choose only you.
And we're also getting a lot of questions about a replay, and just to remind everyone, there will be a replay. We'll email that to you after this webinar. And it looks like those are the main questions. We didn't get to your question, though. We'll have a follow-up. We'll follow up directly with you. And just also a reminder, you can go to socialselling.pacificlife.com to download some of these guides to help you with your LinkedIn. All right, I'll turn it back over to you, Brett.
I just want to say thank you all for taking the time out of your very busy days. I hope that you found this helpful and useful. If you do have any questions that I can help with, please don't hesitate to contact us. As Seth mentioned, we have a website, socialselling.pacificlife.com. Pick up the phone, 1-800-722-2333. You'll follow the prompts, they'll get you to the right places, or just email me, and I'll get you the information that you need. But again, thank you for taking the time out of your very busy days. We really do appreciate it here at Pacific Life.